now return to the Transformers.
Transformers the movie, released in 1986. It occurs 20 years after the end of season 2, in the then now futuristic year of 2005.
Like, wow, okay guys, kind of a huge leap there.
Now over in Japan, they got Scramble City, which I won't go into so deeply, but I'll briefly touch on it. Basically, old characters meet the new characters. And one thing I wished they did was give us more of this. Now I didn't know about Scramble City for years, but it would have just been so cool to have a whole new season like this.
But like all things in the Transformers, nothing ever truly lives up to its potential.
The movie was without a doubt one of the single biggest turning points for the series. So it would be strange if I skipped over the movie's events and went straight into season 3 because, well,
everyone dies. That's right kids, throw your old Transformers in the trash, all these characters you've grown up to know and love. Buy our brand new toys that you don't give a crap about. Ironhide, Ratchet, dead. Crown, dead. Brawn,
I don't know, maybe.
Wheeljack, dead. And Windcharger, dead.
This was almost too easy, Starscream.
You fucking...
And of course, the biggest one being Optimus Prime. He's dead. Hasbro really thought it was all about the toys for these kids, huh? I love how Hasbro knew they messed up when the UK's ending, they had to declare that Optimus Prime would return.
And the greatest Autobot of them all, Optimus Prime, will return.
Because sure, let's give them more nightmares. You know, this could have all been avoided if they instead thought of a tearless way to tell kids that Optimus Prime had died. Like, convey to them that he's in a better place now.
Prime, you can't die!
Oh, it's me, Maddie. I'm in heaven now.
So sorry I died. I miss you so much.
I'm happy here, so I'm not coming home. I miss...
You know, I'll just say, everybody talks about Optimus Prime's death, but nobody ever talks about this. Poor Rumble. He's just lost his leader, and he's so sad. But hey, at least one thing came full circle from the first episode of Transformers.
Someday I'll be giving the orders, Rumble. You'll do what I say. Look, Starscream, Megatron is strong. He's merciless. He can't be beaten. And you'll never be our leader. I will find a way. Everyone has a weakness. Yeah? Well, not Megatron.
Now I have a love-hate relationship with the movie, and it comes mostly from my childhood. See, when my mum bought this for me in Woolworths, a really outdated UK store, she was not aware of the trauma that was inside this case.
I remember watching it on repeat non-stop at my grandmother's house, and I vividly remember bawling like a little bitch because 7-year-old me had never dealt with the concept of death before. So in a way, this movie would actually prepare me for the harsh realities of the world.
So thanks, Mum. You scarred your kid for life.
Despite Optimus Prime not being real, he was real to me, god damn it. So for that, I tip my hat off to Hasbro for being so bold. But in no way was they intending to teach young kids how to deal with the concept of death, and in fact, scarred a lot of them.
The G1 movie is without a doubt one of the most significant moments in my childhood growing up, because it just really made me understand a lot.
Hey dude, you're not the only one.
What are you doing? Go talk about an episode.
But I've only seen the movie.
Okay, fine, go.
All of this time later, since 1986, the Transformers the movie's impact can still be felt, with the fact that the series probably quotes it like once or twice a year at this point.
One shall stand, one shall stand. One shall stand.
I don't think the Transformers franchise is physically capable of not referencing it at least like a couple times a year.
I would have waited an eternity for this.
I would have waited an eternity for this.
And has gone on to be influential in other ways. Like just last year, Hasbro introduced the Studio Series 86 subline. That brings us some absolutely incredible toys of those random guys who showed up to Optimus Prime's funeral, where its sole purpose is just to commemorate how beloved the characters in the movie have become, both those who had a major role in it and ones who showed up for 0.5 seconds. Took them a couple tries to get RC right, but you know, we got there in the end. Hasbro is even selling Optimus Prime's dead corpse, so you can permanently display one of the most traumatizing moments of your childhood on your shelf forever. There was a What If comic that IDW did a couple years ago called Transformers Deviations that was all about what happened if Optimus Prime didn't die in the movie, that not many people liked. But still, the point is, one of the opening scenes in the movie has become such an iconic moment in this franchise. Really, everything that was introduced in the 86 movie has in some way come back, whether it be the Quintessons, which have shown up every now and then in different shows and comics. Unicron, obviously, has become one of the most iconic villains in the whole Transformers franchise. Galvatron, Scourge, and Cyclonus, and obviously the rest of the 86 Autobots have become beloved characters. The movie may not have been very well loved when it first came out, but its impact is definitely felt all of this time later, and I honestly don't know what the Transformers series would have been without it.
In a way, the movie's events are pretty simple. The old gang kill each other, where the new gang comes in to stop the new evil gang leader, who was originally part of the old evil gang, but they got reborn into purple by a giant planet-eating Orson Welles that loves a good munchy munch. He's a monster munch, basically. Oh, and Starscream died. I mean, sure, finally, but I guess that's the end of the Decepticons having any kind of big personality. I'm gonna miss his obnoxiousness. For now. The movie is somewhat the best representation though of the Generation 1 era. I mean, it introduced a lot of new things that are like a main staple of a franchise today, such as the Matrix of Leadership.
You know, I gotta admit, this thing was pretty easy to steal. The most powerful steering wheel in Transformers lore. Gotta love how a steering wheel is associated with leadership, with a society of robots that turn into cars. My brain broke when I realised that. Also, this was the first movie that introduced me to swearing.
Look! It isn't even dented! Oh shit, what are we gonna do now?
Yeah, my mum was pretty mad at Hasbro for that. Before we get into Season 3, let's mention the brand new characters, I should say toys, introduced in the movie.
We have Hot Rod, who would become the new leader of the Autobots, named Rodimus Prime, which the fandom always seemed to have a love-hate relationship with. Yeah, sure, back then I would have hated him too, but I'm older and wiser now, and you know what? It wasn't his fault that Prime died. Maybe. Then we have the old-timer Cup, who's just a cranky old wise man. Then we have Ultra Magnus, the all-serious Autobot who you'd think would actually be the leader, but nah. Next up we've got Blur.
What about me, Magnus? What about me? I can help, I want to help. What about me?
Blur, you can help me alert the others.
Absolutely, positively, definitely. Nobody can get the job done faster than I can. Nobody.
Yeah, he's a bit of a blur, that one.
Then we have RC, who isn't the first female Autobot, but the movie wants you to think that she is the first female Autobot, even though technically she is the first female Autobot because her approval for the movie was the gateway to allow female Autobots to appear in the cartoon, because the movie was in development when the cartoon was still being aired on television. Last but not least, on the Autobot side, we have Springer.
I got better things to do tonight than die.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking cool.
Friend find, look behind. You go wrong way, you fool, I say.
Oh, and we also have this annoying rhyming squirrel. Over on the Decepticon side, we have Galvatron, who was Megatron, but now he's horny.
Really? Why did I say that?
Cyclonus, the coolest new Decepticon warrior. In Season 3, you're gonna feel really sorry for this guy. And then we have Scourge and the Sweeps. That just kind of exist. And that's it. All the old bots are just cannon fodder, really. Well, okay, some old toys did stay in the series, like the Dinobots, Bumblebee, I guess, Blaster and Perceptor, even though for some reason to me, Blaster and Perceptor always felt like new characters, despite both of them having like dedicated episodes in Season 2.
What was wrong with you kids in the 80s? Did you buy so many microscopes where Hasbro was like, well, the kids like the microscope, so he survives, but the cool-ass truck, he has to die.
Oh, and for the humans we have Spike's new song called Daniel, and yes, he's very annoying.
Anyway, with all those radical changes mentioned, let's dive into Season 3, which generally has a mixed reception among fans. I'm mixed on it. There's a lot of good episodes, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of bad episodes, and there's more bad than good. And the animation as well, it's mostly done by ACOM now, and it's just bleh. Like, you're going to notice the dip in quality immediately. But I can do this. Let's move on to Season 3.
The Transformers will return after these messages.